Kristen, I can't tell you how much I love this show. It is so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
And it's this brand of comedy that's very difficult to pull off because it's so over the top. How did you find that sweet spot?
It's an interesting dichotomy because when you're playing something so heightened, it really has to come from a very real place or it becomes phony. And that's when musical theater can get made fun of, when you see it done badly. And our challenge in the show is to make, obviously, the music sing, which is complete operatic score from Cy Coleman and Common Green, but to make the scenes sing. They have their own rhythm, which is fast and in the 30s style. And I don't know, I've always just had an ear for it, but at the bottom line of it is truly, I'm just a comedian, and it just, if it's funny, it's a gift, and this whole show is a gift.
You said something that I want to touch on, that it has to come from a real place in order for this to succeed. So this is a very satirical, over-the-top depiction of Hollywood and a star's rise to fame. But is there any truth in this chart as far as a parallel to your rise to fame?
You know, I've thought about that because my character starts out from the Bronx, Mildred Plaka, and she gets discovered by a very famous director and makes it in the theater. And what happens so oftentimes when you do make it in the theater, not oftentimes, very rarely, does a person from the theater cross over into film and television. And that's what Mildred Plaka does, and she becomes Lily Garland. And she has Svengali in Oscar Jaffe, and they also have a great love affair. I guess there are similarities between myself and the character. I'm from a little town in Oklahoma, and my name is Kristin Chenoweth, and you know, I moved to New York just wanting to be in the chorus of any show. I would have thought I would have made it. That was like my, if I just could be in the chorus, I would be so happy. And I was so petite and unique and different, and I used to view that as a bad thing, but later, of course, I realized it was what set me aside and made me different. So to all those young people out there who think, oh, I have a funny voice, or I'm so tall, or whatever, those things make us different and can make you stand out. And I believe that's what happened to me, and I rose through Broadway and then ended up moving to Hollywood as well, and have had a really blessed career in all different genres. And this, however, is a love story at the very end of the day, and it is about two narcissistic people which fall in love with each other as much as they can, besides themselves. So that's one way I'd like to think I'm not a narcissist. I mean, sure, I like to look good, and you can see all my makeup brushes and all my different kinds of makeup, but I think I've learned what's most important in life.
Hey, there's no shame in that. That's what my bathroom counter looks like, too.
You're a woman, so there
exactly.
you go.
So the comparison between the theater world and Hollywood, what were some of the adjustments that you had to make? How are those two worlds different?
It's interesting. I want to be very careful here. I think that in New York and with the theater world, it's very much on your talent. It's just very much on your talent. I mean, if you can't perform in front of a live audience and not lip sync and not fake your acting, and then that's the real deal. I think there's a real deal in Hollywood too. Obviously, we have great actresses like Julia Roberts and so many of my favorite, Jessica Chastain, Jennifer Lawrence, all these amazing actors. But I think that you can get away with being just a pretty face sometime and making it in Hollywood, and that's okay too. There's no judgment from me. I mean, you know, I'm saving my money because I never know. I'm still of the old school acting of when's it going to end, how long is it going to go, and I've been so lucky that I always train, and I always keep working at it, and I think it can be very easy when you're in Hollywood to just rest on the way you look instead of what you lead with your gift instead of your face.
Now, one of your teachers actually said that you would be a great fit for this role back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that story.
It was probably in 1988. We have this once-a-week class called Master Class where we sing in front of her a song, and she gave me a song from the show, and I didn't know anything about it. Of course, I got nailed for not knowing anything about it. It had never been done but once with Madeline Kahn and Kevin Kline. It made Kevin a huge star, and John Cullum. It's an operetta, but it's a comedy, and it takes a kind of a unique skill set to pull it off. And she said to me, you need to do this part one day. It's your role. And I kind of, okay. And then about 10 years ago, about 15 years ago now, I did an album, well, it was 2001, and the composers of this show I had invited to my recording session because I was singing a song from another show they wrote, and they told me then, there's a show we wrote in 1978, and you got to play it. And it was the same show. And I thought, okay. And then about 4 years ago, we did a reading of it. The Roundabout called and said, there's this show that you're perfect for. So after 3 times, you listen. And then we did the reading, and I knew, oh, I'm supposed to do this part.
Why do you think all those people said that?
I don't know. I have a lovely thing on my mirror here. It says, I'm not crazy. It's just that my situation seems to require a crazy person. And I think the role is not, I mean, she's a narcissist, she's an opera singer, she can dance, she's a comedian, she's supposed to be beautiful in Hollywood standards, she's in love, and those are, you know, it's a crazy world. They're on a train, and I don't know, I just think, I'd like to think I'm not that cuckoo bananas, but I might be a little bit.
The show wouldn't be what it is without the chemistry that you have with your cast. Can you talk about how your chemistry is with Peter Gallagher and Andy Carl? I mean, the two, they're just amazing together.
They're ugly and they can't sing. I feel so sorry for them. Peter Gallagher was somebody that when I first moved to New York, I couldn't afford to go see him in Guys and Dolls. I was too poor. And I paid $15 to stand in the back, which at the time for me was a lot of money. And I stood in the back and watched his performance, and I thought maybe one day, just maybe one day, I'll get to meet him. Andy Carl, I'd only heard about through his performance of Rocky, and I thought, can Rocky be funny? Little did I know, it's like we're the same person. It's like we came out of the same womb. And with those two guys at your side, that's extremely important to have that trifecta of energy and great singing and great, you know, the people that are like you that can do what you do. You need them with you in the show. And then we have great character actors, Michael McGraw and Mark Lynn Baker, and of course Mary Louise Wilson plays the crazy old lady. And she's 84 years old, and every day she inspires me. Whenever I think I'm really, really tired and I think I can't do this, because it requires everything I do is in this show, I think about Mary Louise Wilson, and I think, get your ass up out of bed and, you know, go there. She's just getting ready to come out with a book, and it's my first 100 years in show business, and I read it. And I thought, that's how I want to be. I want to die on the stage. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing, nor can I do, nor am I able to do. This is what my gifts are, you know, and to get to be with people who are like me and want to build me up and let me be funny, that I can build up and want them to be funny, it's a true rarity.
Great. Thank you so much.